Binge Watchers, where we talk about the stories and characters we love and the shows they live in. My name is Ron, and let's talk about Season 1 of Legends of Tomorrow. Legends of Tomorrow is a spin-off of both Arrow and The Flash, and it tells the story of an unlikely group of heroes that travel through time and try to take down Vandal Savage, an immortal psycho that wants to take over the world. Arrow was the comic book show that tried to be dark and gritty, but it never really worked for me because it also had the comic book ridiculousness in it. The Flash embraced that ridiculousness and made the more serious stuff about the relationships between the characters, and it ended up working very well and being a really good time. Legends of Tomorrow just goes way over the deep end and is completely batshit crazy. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. First of all, it's important to understand that this show is very much for people who are already fans of comic book shows. If you never liked Flash and you never liked Arrow and it was all just a little bit too silly for you, there's really nothing for you here. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of Arrow, but I am a big fan of The Flash, so I thought I'd check it out. The main thing about Legends of Tomorrow is the large cast of characters, so let's start there. The cast is a lot of fun. The banter between them provides a lot of amusing moments. Each one of them has a different skill set that is useful in different times, and it's pretty cool. The problem that I had with them is that each one of them has one thing, one main personality trait, which is the thing that that character does over and over again throughout the entire season, and it never goes beyond that. The stars of the show, for me at least, without a doubt, were the guys from Prison Break, Snart and Rory. Both of them play incredibly overacted characters, but that's exactly why they were so much fun. It felt like the actors were just having the time of their lives playing these silly-ass characters. There's no attempt to make them sound like actual people. Snart, for example, has this over-the-top comic book villain talk like, "What are we waiting for? I don't do this touchy-feely stuff. I want to steal something. And Rory basically just grunts his way through the season. "The fire is the only thing that's pure. I like to watch as it dances on their bodies. I grew a lot as a person this season." The other characters are kind of there as well. I didn't see anything special about any of the other characters, but listen, this show knows what it is. It's here to have a good time, and the characters practically say it in most episodes. And mostly, it is a good time. The action and the VFX in this show were actually pretty impressive. There's a lot of big action set pieces where everybody's fighting at the same time and shooting lasers, and it looks pretty cool. You get a lot of someone shooting a laser and the laser hits just behind the bad guy, but the bad guy goes flying through the air anyway. But it's the sort of things that you come to expect. You're not gonna find any R-rated violence here. White Canary's fight scenes were all very well choreographed and impressive. At some point, the show does sort of run out of steam and things just start repeating themselves, and then you see that the show doesn't really have any substantial story to tell. Again, because it's there for explosions and pretty lights, which is fine, but it's a good thing that the show was 16 episodes and not 23, but it could have easily been 10. To be honest, Flash and Arrow probably don't really need 23 episodes as well. All the episodes, give me all the episodes and I will eat them! All in all, I don't have too much to say here. Legends of Tomorrow is stupid, mindless fun. The characters are a good time, the story is very thin. As a narrative, it's nowhere near where The Flash is, for example. But the show does feel aware of itself, and it's nice seeing it having fun with itself. That sounded dirty. Bottom line, should you watch it? If you're a big fan of other comic book shows, there's fun to be had here. If you're just looking for a fast-paced action shows with lasers and time travels and a lot of big, shiny, pretty things that you can fully watch while you're doing dishes, then there's some dishwashing fun to be had here. If you're not into this style of shows or just haven't gotten around to watching the comic book shows, I wouldn't start here, and if you skip this show altogether, you won't be missing anything legendary. I'm clever, shut up. What about you? Have you watched Season 1 of Legends of Tomorrow? What'd you think about it? Did you like it? Didn't you like it? Comment below and let's get the discussion going. If you're gonna be talking about spoilers, can you really spoil this show? I don't know. If you're gonna be talking about spoilers, please use spoiler tags in your comments. And remember, you can go to bingewatchers.space/vote and vote on what gets reviewed next on this channel. And if you're finding Binge Watchers for the first time, welcome. I'd like to invite you to join the Binge Watchers community. Come talk about TV with us. It's a lot of fun. Subscribe to the channel. But in any case, I will see you next time. Never.